All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Nikki and Brie Show. And we have a really special episode for you today. So we've been looking forward to today's episode for a while now. I mean, this has been literally in the books.
Since WrestleMania Vegas.
Actually, you are right.
So that's like April.
And not only have we been looking forward to this, but this is a very special day, not only for us, but for our guest that's about to come on. Because today, her new memoir, The Last Hart Beating, is officially available everywhere. So everyone, please welcome WWE superstar and champion and 6-time Guinness World Record holder, wrestling royalty, and all around just a badass woman. One of our besties, Nattie Neidhart.
Nattie!
Thank you guys so much for having me on. I've been looking forward to this all day today. So I've geared up. I've had my coffee. I had a workout. I've listened to my favorite songs. I'm in the mood and in the zone for all
Have you
of
had
this.
that shot of vodka?
So thank you guys. I did have a glass of champagne in honor of Nicole's amazing performance on Raw last night. By the way, can we just stop and say that our girl Nikki was trending worldwide last night?
Oh,
yes.
Thank you, Nattie.
We love that.
I know she's humble, but I like to shout it from the rooftops to like 6 million people on social media.
Oh my God, I know. Nattie always shows me so much love. You honestly are the best. And it was so much better having you there. Like, I don't know, you just bring me comfort. Nattie was at the show, and so it was just, I'm like, okay, Nattie, come on. Everyone misses her, and so it's like, we need you back ASAP.
We really do.
I know. I love our time together.
I do.
Us three, we are just like, we never miss a beat.
Never ever miss a beat.
It's crazy when you think of how long like we've all been together in the business, and it just feels like the other day.
Yeah.
Like I just remember it perfectly. Like the other day in Tampa.
It's just, like I just love our memories together so much. They're like the great memories of my like career in WWE. They're the great moments.
So they Nattie, really are. And speaking of moments,
I know the day has finally come. Your memoir is out. How are you feeling?
I woke up today like almost in tears of joy. I just like, I couldn't sleep because I was so excited about like, okay, today's the day everyone's going to read the book. And I had a couple like months where as we were getting closer to, especially over the last month, as I was getting closer to the book coming out, I was like, I hope people like it. I hope that they understand it. I hope that they read it. I hope that they get it. I hope that they get the meaning behind it. I hope they get the story. And I just like, whenever I would have these moments of doubt, I would go back and look at the messages from the girls. Yeah. So there were some girls in the locker room that I sent the book to, I sent the manuscript to, and I finished that. Like they read the book, and I kind of wanted to get like do a little study, a little focus group, a little locker room focus group study of what they thought of the book. So I sent it to Naya. I sent it to Liv. I sent it to Bianca. I sent it to Beth Phoenix. I sent it to Carmella. I sent it to Bailey. And so I wanted to like, Maxine got it. I wanted to see what the girls thought. And every time I felt doubt, I would go back to their text messages after they read the book. They all had different, like very different interpretations of the book. It meant something different to all of them, but like it helped me so much feel calm about like, okay, I think people are going to like this. I think people are going to really get something from this because the girls did, and the girls, like they had a lot of very specific questions, and like it meant something different to all of them, which I love because art is interpretation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about how you look at it. Somebody might look at a painting differently than I look at it. You know what I mean? So I love that people are getting such different points of view from it, but the girls in the locker room, their support and their encouragement, like it's what's kind of kept me calm about people, how they receive the book.
Oh, well, even what I've heard from everyone when just being at Monday Night Raw, we were all talking about your book a lot, and everyone's like, you just can't put it down. Like you literally keep reading it and you just don't want it to stop. And then it's cute because I got a few people like, oh, I was just reading about you. And I was like, oh yeah.
I love that. Well, and so Nattie,
cute.
Since anyone who's ever shared a conversation with you or been in a locker room with you or even at lunch, and I feel like a lot of reality viewers, so you saw Total Divas, you're an amazing storyteller.
Yeah.
Like you tell the funniest stories or the most sincere stories, but the way you'll talk about your family or, other acquaintances, anything, you're a great storyteller. So I'm so excited to read this because I
too.
know it's just going to be done so well and the stories are going to be
Well,
so great.
I mean, it'll be a movie one day for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, your story, how you write. But what I love seeing too is you're already getting incredible reviews from like actual book critics, which I think is so huge. I mean, on the day of your release.
It's really, I'm just like, I'm trying to take it all in and just try to be grateful for every little moment. But like when I wrote the book, I was like, as a recovering people pleaser, which I think the three of us are,
Oh, yeah.
we're recovering people
Yeah.
pleasers. We want to do a great job. We want to make people happy. We want to make our family proud, our friends and everyone else. We want to do great work. But like, I also have come to the realization, especially after writing this book, that like, I wanted to write the book for me. And I spent so much of my career and so much of my life before I ever got to WWE trying to make everyone else happy. And in writing the book, I realized that like, I needed to write the book for me. And if I wrote the book for me, at least one person would be happy with it. And so that was something that like really like resonated with me from the very like beginning. It was like, okay, you know, because at first I was like, I got to make sure Brett, like I want to put Brett on a pedestal because he's so important in my life and I love him and we're so close. But I also was like, you know, I think Brett is probably one of the greatest storytellers ever. And I don't think he wants to be perceived as perfect.
Right.
I dedicated the book to my dad. But my dad and I also had a very complicated relationship. And so it was very liberating to be able to share, like, you can love someone with all of your heart and you can write a whole book about your life and dedicate it to them, but they can still hurt you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like, there is stuff that happened between my dad and I that hurt me a lot and it shaped me. It scared me. It affected me. It helped me grow. It helped me become the person that I am today.
Yeah.
But it was so liberating writing about our experience and just our relationship, even if it was hard.
Right.
Like it was hard because there's a very powerful, my dad is one of the main characters in the book. And my book kind of, it reads, it's funny because Bianca, I've talked about this in other interviews, but Bianca was one of the first people to read my book. And she said to me, she goes, it feels like a movie. She's like, it reads very cinematically.
Oh.
And I really wanted my book to be a storyline. It's the real true storyline of my life. But the big thing is, in order to get people to turn the chapter, to get to the next page, you want to get to the next chapter. It's like when we finish Monday Night Raw, the way we leave the shows is you want to get to the next chapter. You want to see what's going to happen on the next TV taping.
Yeah.
When I wrote the book, I was like, I really want people to be like, I got to get to the next chapter. And this is why people are reading the book so fast. They're reading it in like 2 days.
Wow.
Because it's a storyline. It's a storyline. And you really, once you finish a chapter, you're racing to get to the next. But there's so much range. It's funny. It's very humorous. There's a love story in there that like is for the ages. It's a lot about, you know, my relationships, the good, the bad, the hard ones, the ones that taught me the most. And relationships, just like life, they're not linear, you know, like my most rich relationships that I have in my life are very complicated. So it was really cool to be able to explore that and talk about how, you know, what my journey was, what the story is, and how I lived through all of it, not only just surviving, because all three of us have said this throughout our entire friendship together. We're not survivors. We're people that are thriving.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like we're just like, we're more than somebody that survives something. Cause I know we've all been through tough things, but we're thriving at life because you get stronger. Part of life is figuring it out.
Right. Oh gosh, I agree with you, Nattie.
Today's segment was made possible by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. Parenting is never predictable, especially during cold and flu season. From unexpected sneezes to long car rides with sniffly little ones, those backseat moments can quickly turn into stories you'll share for years. So Nikki, I'll never forget, Birdie has the worst allergies. And I felt like she got to the point she hated blowing her nose so much, she just let it go. And I was like, what is it that you hate so much about blowing your nose? And she's like, that you constantly remind me. And I said, okay, fair enough. She doesn't like to be told what to do. So I went out and I bought Birdie this really cute little rainbow fanny pack. And I stuffed it with Kleenex tissues. And I said, wear this little magical fanny pack
And whenever your nose is running, you on your own get to blow your nose.
I remember that.
Do you remember her little magical fanny pack she constantly wore? And not even kidding, it's like she didn't want me to tell her anymore, which I loved. It was part of her growing up. So here with this magical fanny pack filled with Kleenex tissues, Birdie started to blow her nose on her own without me telling her. No more boogers all over her face. Do you remember how embarrassed I'd get? Because I'd be like across the playground, or I'd be looking in my rearview mirror while she's sitting in her car seat. I'm like, Birdie, you got boogers everywhere. And I felt like with a little bit of magic, a little bit of Kleenex tissues, she, my little confident one, just needed to do it all on her own.
She did. Well, it's so funny because I think of any time of the seasons when Mateo's nose is running so much in his car seat. So I'm always handing him Kleenex lotion tissues and like wipe your boogies. And I don't know why. Now he doesn't do this all the time, but half the time it's like he wipes his boogers and next thing I know, I'm getting a booger bomb thrown at me. Do you get those?
Oh, those booger bombs. No, I don't.
Oh, it's just tissue full of boogers and it just gets thrown right back at me. And I'm like, I appreciate, I guess, that you're giving me your boogies back, but to get a tissue booger bomb thrown at you, it's just wild.
That is.
Yeah. But I feel like one day I'm really going to miss that.
You're going to miss the booger bombs.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Like Nikki said, parenting is messy, emotional, hilarious, and heartwarming all at once.
That's right. But parenthood means being strong through tears, laughters, and of course, those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. Kleenex lotion tissues provides that extra care when you need it most.
Thank you to Kleenex Lotion Tissues for sponsoring today's segment.
Yes, whether it's in a car full of sneezes or a house full of laughter, Kleenex is there to help you face every cold, every moment, and every memory with care. And it's so true. And that's what I love is that it's not just for wrestling fans. Like someone who, doesn't know wrestling, I feel can read your book and will take something away. And what do you hope people, non-wrestling fans and wrestling fans, take away after they've read your book? Like, what do you want them to walk away with? Like, what feeling?
The biggest thing I'm hearing from everyone is that they felt like they could heal part of themselves after reading it. And so if my journey can be a handbook in somebody else's, survival, if it can help somebody else get through the darkest times of their life because I'm sharing and being so open with my story, then it was all worth it. Like my entire journey was worth it. As I was writing the book, it was like I kept on every chapter chasing all these things that I thought were going to make me happy. Like, I just got to get this job. I've just got to do this match. I've just got to learn this move. I've just got to win this I've just got to get the job in WWE. I've just got to get to developmental. I've just got to get to the main roster. I've just got to win this title. I've just got to get this, just this next thing that like you could hold in your hand. And I realized by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, shit, that stuff wasn't the stuff that made me happy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like the stuff that makes you happy, like it's about being able to recognize the stuff that makes you happy. Like when you get to the end of the book, I realized like in a family that's done everything, with my grandfather, Stu Hart, starting our family legacy with Stu Hart, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, the British Bulldogs, my dad, my cousins, like in a family that's done everything and being the first woman in my family to do this. I'm not going to be the first woman to main event a WrestleMania or the first person in my family to main event a WrestleMania or win a title or even write a book. I'm not going to be the first to do that in my family, but I was the least likely to make it in my family as a woman. Wow. And I'm still standing. I'm here. Like I'm not a victim. I'm not just a survivor, but I'm somebody that's thriving in this. And all of the shit that we've gone through is worth it. It's so worth it because it's made me so strong that there's nothing that I really can't achieve in my life. But the biggest thing is that I want to be the first person in my family to not leave this business broken. And that's the thing is it's been like a very cathartic journey to realize like winning is not winning a championship. It's not having a main event match at WrestleMania. Winning is being able to look at yourself in the mirror and not being broken emotionally, and not being broken physically, like just being free to do everything that you want to do, to live your life on your own terms. And I was, like I said, the least likely in my family to do that. So it's so cool to be able to carry on that legacy. And I also want people to look at themselves in the mirror and redefine the way that they're looking at success in their life. I used to think success was about a great storyline or a women's championship or, buying a fancy car or all, like, I used to think that was success. Now I've realized that, like, I want people to look at themselves and go, why not me?
Yeah.
Why can't I write a book? Why can't I do a documentary? Why can't I make a movie? Why can't I do this? Why can't I open up a restaurant? Or why can't I chase my crazy dream?
Yeah.
Even
Right.
if you fall flat on your ass, you'll feel so great chasing your dream. And I think that was a big message in the Rocks movie. The Smashing Machine, he took a chance on himself to do a movie that is the most vulnerable you'll ever see him. But I liked it because I love the movie. And I feel like he should be nominated for an Oscar because he went to such a dark, kind of deep place. But he's like, why not me? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do a movie that could win me an Oscar? It's not my traditional role, but fuck it. I'm going to just take a chance on me.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I love how you say that, Nattie, because when you and I have talked about your book before, and it really hit me when you were telling me about that. It wasn't about all the things that you've won in life and the records you set. It was about looking in the mirror and knowing that I survived this and I didn't break. I came out as the one not broken. And you already, anytime, and I know Brie, we've spoke about this, you're always any of my matches. You know how to give straight honesty to me, to anyone, but there's something about how you give honesty and
She does it from a genuine place where she wants to
Well,
help you improve.
yeah, help you improve, but like you also feel amazing about yourself.
Yeah.
Like you feel uplifted. You're like, I did something great. But when we were talking about your book and all that yesterday, and then I was driving home from the airport this morning, I was thinking about things, and I'm always like, when I'm by myself in my car, like either talking to myself or whatever. But I was thinking, like, the match with Roxanne for me, because it's not about wins anymore for me. It's not wins and losses. For me, I was like, that right there was about impact. That was about what I've done in my career
Yes.
to inspire someone to get to where they're at and to have that moment. I won. Like I was driving, I was thinking about that. Like I would have rather have that than championships or win, but to have that kind of impact of what you do in your career that has nothing to do about main eventing WrestleMania or holding this title for this long or having this championship or having them all, whatever it may be. It's about what you do, how you come out of it, but then how you inspire others and how your
Right.
impact brings them there. And I was thinking about that so much in the car ride and with our conversations as well.
Yeah. And Nattie, I think of like when we all filmed a reality show. We film it, then it's like 6 months later, we all have to watch the cuts and we're reliving some
Yeah.
moments that a lot of us didn't want to relive.
Yes.
And the same goes for a memoir. When you're writing a memoir, you're going back to your childhood. You're going back to those really dark, heavy moments that you have to write. Was it hard to write those moments, or were you able to get through it?
Those were the moments that I had. Like, that's why I started getting a little bit of anxiety towards when the book was coming out. Cause I was like, oh, what if people don't understand that? Or what if somebody doesn't, what if they don't get it? Or what if they don't like it? Or what if they think I'm burying so-and-so or what? I started like questioning like a little bit of like, I was like, it's a really important part of the story though. I don't want to leave that out. But like, I just was, there were some hard moments, some very vulnerable chapters that took me time to really think about, sleep on, write, work on, dissect. Yes, very much so. But I also realized that there was chapters I couldn't leave out. I just couldn't leave out because I was like, if you're going to write a book and you're going to start leaving out all these tough chapters, then why the hell are you writing the book? Like, you're talking about your life, you're talking about your story, and I will stick to the core issues of the story because with my family and my life, our family has so much meat on the bone with everything. There's like a damn mini series on our family that could like span decades. But I was like, what is the most important part of the story? And let's stick to the story. Let's stick to the core issues of the story. So it was tough talking about stuff with my dad because I needed to be able to explain the stuff that was going on with my dad and his health in order for people to understand that he wasn't trying to be a bad parent. I think he was doing the best that he could.
Right.
And so in writing that, I actually really forgave my dad. Like in writing this book, for a lot of the hard things that we went through as kids, I really forgave my dad. I got to the end of it and like, I just had so much freedom of like, he did the best that he could. And now that we understand that he was struggling with so much, it gave me like this totally different understanding of him. That's why I wanted to dedicate the whole book to him.
Aww.
Because I was like, this is my big story for me and my dad. And he wasn't trying to be a bad parent, but sometimes, there's no playbook on how to be a great parent. Sometimes parents are just doing the best that they can. But like in TJ's injury, those were very hard chapters for me to write about, but they were also, I wanted people to see what happened on the other side of TJ's injury, where he lost something that was so important to him. And I think everybody can relate to going through grief and going through something that means everything to them. Grief is, people, it's so relatable. But I wanted people to see that, like, in TJ's darkest hours, where he didn't know if he could go on and he didn't know who the hell he was. He completely lost his identity when he lost wrestling. On the other side of that grief and that hard time, there was so much hope, and TJ entered the best era of his life. And so again, somebody that's going through something really hard, I couldn't get to the best era of his life without showing that he had overcome something.
Yeah.
So it's also like a book about hope. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of hope that comes from it. I think the world needs a lot more hope.
Oh, amen. So true.
So true. It's so, yes, definitely. Well, Nattie, you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson write your foreword. Did you ask him to do it? How did that come about?
So, I wanted Brett to be a part of my book because Brett is just a master storyteller. But I was also like, the thing with Dwayne is that part of asking him to be a part of the book was that it was part of me standing on my own 2 feet. And so, of course, I wanted to include Brett, but I also wanted to like show that this was also like, okay, I'm not going to just lean on family, because Brett is, he's one of the greatest storytellers ever. But I was like, I want to ask Dwayne if he would help me with this project, because Dwayne's dad was a wrestler.
Yeah.
Dwayne's grandmother, just like my grandfather, they were wrestling promoters. And so Dwayne is the first third generation male superstar in WWE, and I'm the first female third generation, superstar in WWE. So I was like, we have all these similarities, but our careers were very different. But I was like, I would love to, like, I know he's so supportive of women's wrestling, and he's somebody that, like, I feel like we have so much in common, because he also, he's extremely successful now, but he also went through a lot. And so I was like, I would love to have his help. And this is going to sound crazy, guys, but like, he jumped at the chance to help me. He was like, absolutely. It was literally me like getting up my courage. I was just getting up my courage to ask him at the Netflix premiere. I was like, I really want to ask him here. I've got to like make this my mission today. And I walked right up to him. Of course, he's swarmed with like everybody and their brother was trying to talk to him. He sees me, gives me a huge hug, stops and talks to me as if I'm the only person in the room, and then agrees to do the foreword.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I couldn't even believe it. I was just like, I mean, I can't believe it now, and then he researched it. So he reached out to me and was like, yeah, ask me a bunch of questions. And he's like, I want to write this from my heart. I want to make it great. I really want to be involved in it. And I know, like, now we realize, oh shit, he's doing this massive movie.
Right.
He's one of the busiest guys on the planet, but the busiest people, they always are the ones that make the time.
Oh, I agree.
Always.
And
right?
he made the time, and he helped me with actually the ending of the book, because when we were talking about the foreword, he said to me, he's like, I really want to know what legacy means to you. What does legacy mean to you? Can you really, like, I need you to think about it. He's like, take a couple of days, think about what legacy means to you. Because I was struggling with the finish of the book. And then I was like, when I was trying to answer Dwayne's question, I was like, oh my God, I have to finish the book. This is the finish. This is the finish of the book. What legacy means. Like,
oh my God, it's chill.
It's very powerful, but he was a huge proponent for what legacy means to me. So, not to change topics, but I do want to go back to Nikki's match with Roxy. So I watched that, and sorry, Nicole, I'm putting you on the spot. I watched that match backstage. I was watching it like, I get nervous when I watch you guys wrestle, because it's like, I want you to do great.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, just make it perfect. And of course there's a bunch of other WWE talent around me, and they're looking at me like, why is Nattie like selling so hard at the monitor?
Yeah.
But Nicole, I thought it was because I know the story.
Yeah.
Like, there's a great story in you versus Roxy, because when she was 13, like we were in the middle. I was with Nicole and Brie in the parking lot. We
Yeah.
were like filming Total Divas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just walks and like sees us all, and she's just like this. I remember it. I remember the
Gosh,
moment.
I
I
remember
the
it
whole. I remember
so
all.
well. Yeah.
So when you guys came out, like everybody was so into the match. It was crazy crowd reactions, which I always say to people, you can have the most perfect, technically sound match, but if our audience doesn't get into it or they don't feel it or they're not reacting, it's not a great match.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, and I've been in those situations too where like shit, I've wrestled in front of crickets, you know, like, and I could be having the perfect match. So what I loved, I was watching the match with Maxine. And so what I loved is like, it was just like the crowd was reacting for everything. And I knew the backstory of it. And I know like in real life, she's got a lot of respect for you, but I also knew that like, you're in there and I'm watching you kind of bring that like energy where it's like, listen, I've been in a no hold barred match with Nikki Bella and she's not playing.
Yeah.
She's not playing.
Sure isn't.
Like it's like even just seeing you guys do your comeback, I was like, it was a very elaborate match. I was blown away by how much time you guys got, but I also thought you guys told a great story and I loved how the finish went down. And I know again, I'm talking kind of inside wrestling, but
No,
like
I love it.
I was so proud of you because wrestling is so hard. And it's like, if I take 2 weeks off of not wrestling, I just feel rusty. I feel like I'm not my best. I'm like, you know, and for you to go and, you know, you and Brie, I mean, like you guys have made yourselves into mainstream stars. You guys have been on the cover of People magazine and you guys have done it. Like TJ was saying to me, he's like, they're big stars. I'm like, TJ, I know, trust me, I know.
He's so cute.
But like you guys both went and did a ton of stuff, took a ton of, took all these chances on your dreams. You had kids and you came back and the audience they connect with you. Mm-hmm. And so that's the biggest thing is that the crowd was so into your match last night with Roxy. And it's like, that's that connection that you just can't, it takes time to build that rapport and that relationship with the audience. So like being there in person, I just loved seeing it. So that was my gushy story.
Thank you, Nattie. But
that's so sweet.
Yeah, so sweet. Like that means so much to me. And that's what I mean. I just love when you're there. It's so helpful for me. And it's funny because
and everyone loves like when you're there.
Oh no, big
Every
time.
single
but
person.
I know
like
Nattie's gonna give it to me straight, whether I'm getting praises by everyone or not, or whatever it may be. But Nattie always gives it to me straight, but then also like makes me feel so good about myself at the same time. Like I know what you say is so honest and true. And I wish you, I just have missed you so much. And it was funny because my mom gets so nervous too. Cause she's like, I just want you to do good. And now you made me really nervous telling me it's day 2 of your period. And I don't like hearing that. And now I'm even more nervous. And I'm like, Mom, it'll be fine. But yeah, it does suck. It's day 2 of my period. It's like weird.
It's so crazy because live TV though, anything can happen. And also, yes, people don't know when you're going through that feminine time of the month, it can be crazy.
I mean, crazy.
I'm not going to give too much information.
Feels,
but like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's like tell people that don't understand about it. It's like, you're just like, and usually for whatever reason, it's like if one person is dealing with it, everybody in the locker room is. So science, technology.
Like
can I read? Can I read? I've been around a lot of bitchy women, so I'm an expert in locker room etiquette and all that stuff. Can I read a little excerpt of my book about you guys?
Oh, we love it.
When okay, so this is one of the things I'm so excited about, like just doing, but I wanted to like read this little excerpt. I'll try to make it snappy. Okay. This was highlighted my first week in developmental in Florida when Steve Kern told me WWE wanted him to bring in these twins who, from what Steve understood, were models. He didn't really know what to do with them, but he asked if I would spend time with them and show them the ropes. In explaining the twins' arrival, Steve rolled his eyes and kind of sighed, like, well, we'll see what we can do. Sure, I could help. I decided I would show these women everything I knew about the business. And if I could do that with two women at the same time I had no ties to at all in this business, surely that would prove how valuable I was. So in came the Garcia sisters, who fans would come to know as the Bella twins, Brie and Nikki. Unsurprisingly beautiful, but also I noticed a few things about them. They were likable, funny, and had athletic backgrounds in soccer. And they were sharp as a knife when it came to business. They had a cool California vibe that seemed effortless, and they made friends with everybody in no time. Within a week, they were the life of the party in FCW, which reminded me of how important it was to not judge a book by its cover. I'll admit that when I first heard of them and saw their pictures, I naively thought that they were just models and didn't want this. But it turned out that they had a great work ethic. They were the first girls at practice every day. They worked their asses off, and they were the last ones to leave. They would do all this extra stuff too, like hanging flyers and talking to the tiny number of fans who came to our shows. They were great for morale at FCW. And then these wonderful girls had the audacity to also teach me how to do my taxes. They introduced me to people that could help me on the business side of things. They introduced me to a seamstress to get my gear made and a good accountant to manage my hundreds of dollars. Anytime I had an issue, the Bellas knew someone who could help. They taught me about clothing, fashion, and my look, my energy, and my character. They made me feel better about myself, like I wasn't an ugly duckling. I knew I wasn't a model, but with the right styling and advice, I began to feel as beautiful as I could. They taught me about storylines and how to pitch ideas and how to mingle and talk to people. They told me that it wasn't about politicking, but you can't get ahead in the world without being able to communicate. Communication is everything in our industry. They were right. They knew everyone and everyone wanted to know them. One night, they invited me out to a dinner gathering where I ended up putting Jimmy Fallon in a headlock after a few shots of vodka. Around the twins, I felt like I was learning to come out of my shell, out of the ring, and I loved it.
Oh my!
So that's just a little bit.
Yeah, it makes me want to cry.
There's a whole other
Me too.
That made me
It's just-
emotional.
I don't want to go on and on, but there is a bunch more. But anyway, you guys have to read the book.
But you know what I love? It's what makes me emotional. One, your words are so beyond sweet, but it's your perspective, right?
Right.
And because you went through so much shit when you were always so gorgeous and beautiful. And I always hated how the industry at that time made you feel because they were just so wrong about you. And then it was like you were always the triple threat. You not only were one of the best wrestlers and came from like the coolest family that will ever walk into a wrestling ring, like no one can ever top them. But you are and were gorgeous, and then you were so freaking funny and like you had the quickest comebacks on everything.
Yeah.
Like you don't even ever need to be scripted for promos. It was like you truly were the triple threat. I think we all connected so much like sisters because you're also just an incredible person. You shine
really
so
are.
much light. You have the biggest heart. You know, it's funny because the other day when we were talking, I was saying how Bailey's the heart of wrestling because we were with Teo, but then, and I think of you and you and Bailey, you both are like when you think of wrestling in the dictionary, like both of your names will be there. Like you will always be there. And TJ, I mean, TJ's another one.
But I think that's why our friendship has always been, the same. Like we have all connected in such a way because we all needed each other. We
Yeah.
needed you, Nattie, as much as you needed us.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we all needed each other. And we like looked at that. And you're right. We didn't judge. We didn't we just all went
We
in
all
and
wanted
like,
the best for each other.
that's it. And we still do.
And wanted to have
day.
fun.
Yes. And we have.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, we have.
And we just had so much fun together, but I loved being able to, because like I realized, I've said this to Nicole quite a bit when I've seen her backstage, but just saying it to both of you together, like when I was writing the book, I just was like, I just started somewhere and just started going and started writing and just kind of pouring my heart and soul onto the pages. And then as I kept going, I was kind of like, you kept creeping into every like story. And so it was cool because there's these main characters in my life that like taught me a lot. They had my back. They supported me unconditionally. And like, we just learned and grew so much together. And like, that's part of what I love about the industry. Like I've said it before, but I think it's worth saying, like everything I have in my life is because of professional wrestling. And that includes my relationships. Those are the most, I wouldn't have these incredible bonds without professional wrestling. Like wrestling has brought me to TJ. It's brought me to you guys. It's brought me closer to my dad. It's brought my whole family. It's what makes us tick. Like you guys those relationships mean so much more to me than winning a championship or main eventing a WrestleMania. Like if I hadn't been a part of professional wrestling, I never would have met you guys. Yeah. So when I say that professional wrestling has given me everything, I truly mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nattie, you look at the Hart family and you see all the incredible men, but you truly are the heartbeat of the family.
You are.
And, even the way you the way you talk about your family and you keep their legacies going, it is honestly like, I feel like the way you'll still post about Owen and even Brett, like, and your dad, and we get it. Like, you are truly the heartbeat to the hearts. And that is
Yeah.
so incredible because you are the first woman to come out of there and to be right up there with your uncles, your dad. It's incredible. Your grandfather.
To be like, in my family, I was the least likely to make it. And that's what I love about Brett does this beautiful introduction, which his words were so strong that I wanted them to like start the book. And so the first page, the first words you'll read are Brett's. And so Brett had told this beautiful story where he was like, he had just gone through, when I told Brett that I wanted to get into wrestling, it was a year after my uncle Owen passed away. And so Brett was in a really hard, dark kind of place in his life. And so he was a little like, he was just like, Nattie, I don't want you to get hurt emotionally. It's a very hard industry. And like, he was going through a lot personally. And at the end of his, and I don't want to give away all of his stuff, but at the end of his introduction, he said, like, in a family where like she was the least likely to do this, she's still kind of leading the way. And so for me, like, I never take for granted what my family built. My grandfather was the tree. Like he was the guy, or he was the root that started in the dirt. Like he was the root of the tree. He didn't have the luxury of having all these, like my grandfather had to start it in the dirt.
Yeah.
And then we got the luxury of being the branches on my grandfather's tree, like from Brett and Owen and Davey and Dynamite and my dad and me and TJ and Harry and just everybody in my family that's wrestled. We got to be these branches on the tree that we got to reap the benefits of everything my grandfather had to build in the dirt.
Yeah.
So it's never been lost on me, the sacrifices that my family's made, all this. Like I never take it for granted, but I love highlighting in the book that like it was really challenging to get hired and to do well in WWE and to make it, because when you come from a family that is as big and as amazing and as great as mine, I think sometimes it's like the biggest pressure that anyone put on me was coming from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I just felt so much of my career, I wasn't like worthy of even, like I wasn't worthy. Like I was like, I'm never going to be like, I remember my first tour of Japan. My very first tour of Japan, they wanted to bill me as Nadia Harto. So I was like, they wanted to give me a different name, and they were like, and of course they wanted me to be like from the Hart family, which is great. It sounds great on paper. I remember being the most scared I'd ever been in my entire life up until that point, because I was like, they're going to think that I'm as good as my family. They're going to think before I wrestle that like, maybe, we want to see what she's going to do because Bret Hart is her uncle, but then they're going to see me wrestle and they're going to think I'm terrible. And I had it in my mind. I was like, well, just go out there and do the best you can. But like, they're never going to like you because they're going to have this vision of Bret Hart in their head. And they're going to be so disappointed when they see me. And that followed me around for a lot of my career. And it wasn't until like later in my career, I was like, Nattie, you are different than them. You are a woman doing this. It's totally different. It's apples and oranges. Like, you are worthy of being here and you are more than enough. And so that's a good message too for people, because it's, we are more than enough. Like last night, Nicole, you crushed it. Like, and it's funny because after your match, I'm giving tea, I'm giving inside gossip. After Nicole's match with Roxy, like, because we're such perfectionists. Like, Nicole's like, I could have done this differently. I could have done this. And I'm like, Nicole, you did great. Like, listen to the crowd. They loved it.
Yeah.
The people loved it. Can we all improve on everything? Like, I analyze a lockup that I could have done better, but like, the people loved it. And I wanted you to like give yourself credit for doing such a great job and not beating yourself up because you did amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Nattie. I know, honestly.
Nattie, you're just the best. You have no idea. And for all of you listening right now, please go on Amazon and overnight this book.
I mean, I love it because Nattie gave us her own personalized, and I have mine at the door.
And
so I have 2 copies.
Yes. And also you can get it, Nattie, at any Barnes & Noble.
You can get it any Barnes & Noble. You can, I've signed some in certain Barnes & Nobles, but I'm doing a book tour as well. So tonight I'm going to be starting the tour at the Grove in Los Angeles. And then tomorrow I'm at Mall of America. And then Thursday I'm in Jersey. Friday I'm in Toronto. So it's really cool. I've got this whole like 13 city book tour. I actually just added Chicago.
Oh my gosh. Well, Nattie, where can someone get the dates and tickets?
You can go to lastheartbeatingbook.com and they can find out exactly where everything is. So it's exciting. It's really cool. So I'm so grateful that you guys have the book.
Oh, me too. And I'm going to start to read it tonight.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, me too. I cannot wait.
Just get ready to laugh and cry. So have some tissues
Well,
available.
already my eyes have welted up. Even when
know.
I saw Dwayne's PS, I was like, oh my goodness. And so
I'm gonna.
just being so close to your family and your dad and just all of like I just know. I know I'm
It's a
gonna definitely,
tearjerker.
be crying.
Wine and tissues, that's for sure.
Honestly, definitely have that wine.
Yes.
Love.
Pinot Noir for Nattie. That is for sure.
Yes. Well, Nattie, we always like to end our episodes with a little inspiration affirmation. Is there any for this book tour? Is there a motto or any type of inspiration you're going into?
This is perfect for the book tour. Why not me?
Yes.
Why not me?
Love that.
Yeah, that's
Why not me? It's so true.
My gosh.
Everyone, put that on your mirrors right now.
Honestly.
Why not
I love that
me?
affirmation. Why not me?
Yeah, it's so great, Nattie.
Amen to that.
And you have proved that for sure. So thank you for being such an incredible friend, but an incredible inspiration, not only in wrestling, on Total Divas, the way you lived your life, you opened up your lives to your family, these honest stories. I mean, I feel like from the really true reality viewer to wrestling fans, you've inspired millions of people across the world. And it's just, as one of your besties, it's been just so much fun to see.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much. I can't wait for us to get together, have a glass of wine, and catch up on like 20 years of everything.
Honestly,
oh my gosh,
because
please.
yesterday was not enough. I was like, wait, I need to keep
No, we need like a
Nattie.
sit down, like a dinner with wine.
No,
like,
no distractions.
no distractions. We have a lot we have to talk about.
We really need to figure this out.
We have so much. We just always I will let you guys go, but Nicole, I was so excited about seeing her last night. I was like,
Yeah.
I saw you, Nicole. This was like an hour before Nicole's about to go out in front of a sold out crowd in Anaheim. And I was like, I was like a kid in a candy shop. I was like, it was so much fun. And Nicole's just calm and cool and collected. And then she's like, oh my God, I got to go out. I got to get ready to go to the ring. So I'm sorry, Nicole.
When
I was a little
you're
distracted.
on West Coast Live, and then we were towards the beginning of the show, I all of a sudden was Nattie. I was waiting for a touch up, and Nattie and I ran into each other. And then I look at the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're about to go live. And
oh my God.
my entrance was in the segment before, so I was like,
I have butterflies right now thinking about it.
Brie, it was
Nicole, I filmed your entrance.
Oh, you did?
I filmed your entrance.
Oh,
I filmed it for the crowd. Like, I just was so excited. But anyway, I'm a big fan of you and Brie, so I love you guys. I can't wait to
love you.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah, and Nattie, we're all glued. We're all glued to Raw. We all are waiting for when Nattie Neidhart's making her way back.
And
so
we want that bad bitch that we're all seeing on Instagram.
I mean, that bad bitch better be showing up. Well, actually, not when I'm in the ring. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I can't wait. I know the locker room can't wait. We're waiting for you, so I can't wait for that day.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. All right,
Thank
everyone.
you guys so much. Sending your mom a copy of the book too. I love you guys.
Oh,
Thank
love
you so
you too,
much.
Nattie.
Love
She
love
will.
that. Oh my goodness.
All right, everyone. You could see videos of today's episode on our YouTube channel and all of our social platforms. That's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. We have it. And the Nikki and Brie Show is also on Sirius XM Stars 109. You can call us at 833-GARCIA2. Even if you have something for Nattie, we'll make sure she gets it. Comment, question, we'll send it her way. And please, right now, go online and get your Nattie Neidhart book. The Last Hart Beating, you can get it. Amazon is a great way. You can go to your local bookstore. You can even order on a bookstore
and
online.
go meet her on her tour.
Yes, 13 cities. You don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
Okay, Nattie, we love you so much.
Love
Good luck
you.
with everything.